The Biden-Harris matrix, a system that sees Americans as fuel. The Biden-Harris administration has presided over a system eerily reminiscent of the dystopian world depicted in The Matrix. In the movie, humanity is enslaved to a machine-driven system that harvests human energy for survival, while the people, unaware of their predicament, live in a simulated reality. Similarly, under the Biden-Harris administration, the administrative state has increasingly treated Americans as mere fuel for the system. Taxpayers who exist only to sustain government machinery without regard for their autonomy, dignity, or well-being. Americans as fuel for the administrative state. A massive administrative state perpetuating itself by extracting resources from its citizens is at the heart of the Biden-Harris matrix. Federal spending, soaring deficits, and an ever-growing bureaucracy underscore this dynamic. Americans are reduced to economic units whose primary value lies in their ability to produce revenue through taxes. The government's dependence on its citizens mirrors the relationship between the machines and humans in the matrix, a parasitic arrangement designed to feed the system, not serve the people. Taxation is the most precise mechanism of this relationship. Under Biden, federal tax revenues hit record highs, yet Americans have seen little return on their investment. Much of this wealth is redistributed to fund initiatives that benefit special interests, foreign governments, or the government itself, leaving ordinary citizens feeling like disposable cogs in a vast machine. The illusion of freedom. Just as the characters in The Matrix are trapped in a simulated reality, many Americans are lulled into believing they live in a free and democratic society. However, the Biden-Harris matrix sustains itself by creating the illusion of freedom while quietly tightening its grip on the populace. This illusion is perpetuated through divisive rhetoric, mass media narratives, and government overreach. Policies like federal mandates, expanded surveillance programs, and executive orders have eroded individual liberties while reinforcing the state's dominance. Whether through the Inflation Reduction Act, which raised taxes indirectly on working Americans, or federal bailouts that favor corporations over citizens, the system thrives on exploiting the very people it claims to protect. Human lives reduced to commodities. The Biden-Harris matrix views Americans not as individuals with rights and aspirations, but as commodities. This mindset is evident in how the administration prioritizes bureaucratic expansion and globalist policies over the needs of its citizens. For example, 1. Economic exploitation. Inflation has eroded Americans' purchasing power, making them work harder for less. Meanwhile, federal spending continues unchecked, feeding a government apparatus that grows more significant but less accountable. 2. Social control. Policies targeting free speech, religious liberty, and parental rights in education reveal a system more concerned with conformity than empowerment. Just as the matrix suppresses dissent, the Biden-Harris administration uses political correctness and regulatory overreach to stifle opposing viewpoints. 3. Globalist agenda. The administration's preference for international priorities over domestic welfare, such as funding wars abroad or supporting global climate initiatives, underscores its disregard for the American people. These policies treat citizens as expendable resources whose labor and taxes fuel projects far removed from their daily struggles. The purpose of the system: control and dependency. The ultimate goal of the Biden-Harris matrix is not to serve the people, but to control them. By fostering economic dependency through government programs, the administration ensures that citizens remain trapped in a cycle of reliance. Welfare expansion, student loan forgiveness, and other initiatives may appear benevolent, but often serve as tools to centralize power and keep people tethered to the system. This dependency is a feature, not a bug. Like the machines in the Matrix, the administrative state thrives on maintaining control. By discouraging self-reliance and entrepreneurship while promoting government solutions, the Biden-Harris administration ensures that Americans remain subservient to its needs. Breaking free from the Matrix. The solution lies in recognizing the system for what it is and reclaiming the foundational principles of freedom and self-determination. Americans must demand fiscal responsibility, smaller government, and policies prioritizing individual liberty over bureaucratic expansion. Breaking free from the Biden-Harris matrix requires 1. Tax reform. Simplify the tax code and reduce the burden on working families, ensuring that wealth is returned to the people, not squandered by the state. 2. Decentralization. This would transfer power from the federal government back to states and local communities, empowering individuals to take control of their own lives. 3. Civic engagement. Educate citizens about their rights and encourage active participation in the democratic process to hold leaders accountable. 4. Economic independence. Promote policies that reduce dependency on government programs and foster a culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and self-reliance. Conclusion. The Biden-Harris administration has created a system that thrives by exploiting the people it is meant to serve, like the Matrix. Americans are reduced to fuel for a sprawling administrative state, their value measured in taxes and compliance rather than their humanity. However, awareness is the first step to liberation. By recognizing the Matrix for what it is, Americans can begin reclaiming their freedom, breaking free from the machine, and rebuilding a government that serves the people rather than the other way around.